Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all know I gotta go ahead on and get started. I didn't know I was gonna go live, but I just found out some good news. Y'all come on in. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all like, share this video. Make sure you get your membership while it's on sale. And y'all come on in and take a seat. Antoine, Antoine, what you doing, Antoine? Antoine, I told they were gonna get your ass. I told you, Antoine. I tried to warn you, Antoine. Well, y'all, let's listen to this, okay?
Eric Groves were the only two remaining still on the run. But this afternoon, we have learned at WWL Louisiana that Antoine Massey has been recaptured. We just got off the phone moments ago with confirmed to us here at WWL Louisiana that he is, in fact, back in custody, that he was taken back into custody in the Holly Grove neighborhood. And investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein's joining me on the set this afternoon. You just got off the phone with them. Tell me what else you know. This happened in Holly Grove, as I mentioned?
Right, in the 9400 block of Strolitz, not far from the Costco on the way to Metairie Road. This was all within the past hour, so this is very fresh news and information. Antoine Massey was resident. He was alone. According to Brian Fair of the U.S. Marshal Service, he was captured without incident. In fact, he gave himself up once surrounded by law enforcement. This actually came from a Crime Stoppers tip, Katie. So we know that a $50,000 reward had been offered for some weeks now. They had been waiting on tips, in fact, pursuing some of them unsuccessfully until today. This tip panned out. Somebody will be collecting $50,000. It came through Crime Stoppers. Is involved. The U.S. Marshals were kind of leading the search, but instrumental and at this residence were representatives of the New Orleans Police Department, Louisiana State Police, U.S. Marshals, of course, along with JPSO, not far from the Jefferson Parish border.
That's right on the line.
They assisted.
They set that up, y'all.
Taking, no chances or risks with these. This particular escaped inmate being considered potentially armed, potentially dangerous, but it ended peacefully. He's now back in custody. Obviously, he'll be facing a charge of escape in addition to the previous charges for which he was being held at the Orleans Justice Center of domestic violence that included rape.
Antoine, what you doing? What you doing, Antoine? I told you they were gonna get your ass. They got you. Now go on back and share that money. I know y'all playing. I know y'all set that money up, Antoine. Cause yeah, you was in with a resident. Come on now, come on. You know y'all set that money up. Yeah, you getting part of that money too. Yeah, but they ain't gonna get nothing if it ain't right.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this area that we're looking at on your screen, this is a map where that house is, where Antoine Massey, one of the Orleans Justice Center escapees, was taken back into custody. If you're just joining us, that happened just a few moments ago. This area is really not too far from Xavier University's campus, which may be a bit unnerving for some parents out there who may be watching.
I'm so glad they got him. Then they need to get the other one now.
He was hiding out in a house right there, not that far from the Costco, where a lot of people frequent. Hundreds, thousands of people go through that Costco every day. And apparently, Antoine Massey did not get far when they escaped from the Orleans Justice Center.
But remember,
all 10 of them.
It was kind of assumed in the case of Antoine Massey in particular.
Look at him.
He may not have gone far. We saw that previously he posted a video of himself on social media. That was identified.
There, you next.
House near the fairgrounds, which was
you next, there. We gonna get you next, there.
The law enforcement agencies. He had not been there, so it was assumed that whenever he videotaped that, it was
That was the dumbest thing to do.
but that gave them an idea that he probably had not fled across state lines or anything further. What is interesting, we've seen in many of these escapees
We're gonna
accomplices
get
who
you
are
next,
being
Derek.
booked with accessory to the escape.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, no such other people known to be involved in helping him, assisting him. Nobody was at that house in that Holly Grove area when they descended upon it to make that arrest. He gave himself up peacefully. Now, of course, we'll see once they debrief Antoine Massey if he provides any additional information. He was considered, Katie, one of the masterminds.
Yes, I mean, we learned that.
I told y'all he was
Yes,
the mastermind.
you know, the fact that they've arrested several other people, and so that has given us a bit of a paper trail as we continue to cover this.
And, he's been perhaps, the most visible by popping up on social media.
Got your little
Many
ass.
tips generated about his whereabouts, including the one himself going on social media. They were able to, pinpoint a house there. It's, now almost 6 weeks since that escape. It is really considered remarkable that, Massey, up until today, and Derek Rose, the other escapees still at large, managed to stay out for so long with such a large reward being offered.
Apparently, one tip is all it took.
That's right, and that is always the kind of mystery of being a fugitive. How many people know of the whereabouts? Who did he trust? Well, apparently, I don't know if it was him letting his guard down or somebody deciding 50,000 was too tempting to pass up, but it was in fact a Crime Stoppers tip, and Brian Fair, the spokesman for the U.S. Marshal Service, said that reward will be collected by the tipster.
Yeah, well, obviously there's still a $50,000 reward for information out for Derek Groves. He's considered the other mastermind behind this operation. We do know that Groves had an ex-girlfriend who was actually an employee at the jail, correct?
She was a guard.
And she was a guard.
They gonna get you next, Derek.
However, that's the only person that we've known with ties to Groves. Now, if he and Massey were the two who coordinated this escape, there are going to be a lot of questions, asked and by Massey now that he's in custody.
And certainly, the more that time passed after that May 16th escape, the more the law enforcement was operating on the theory that the escaped inmates had gone their separate ways. They were no longer, say, together
You
in
next.
hiding. The last pair were the two arrested in Texas. They got further than anyone we know so far.
Yeah, all of y'all trying to get locked up.
Arrested by authorities in Texas. But everyone else had been arrested separately. Generally, if you're going to cover your tracks and remain in hiding, the fewer people that know, the better. Acting in concert with another person could also put them in jeopardy of being caught.
Yes.
Massey was again caught in that 9400 block of strollers in Holly Grove by himself in a residence, and that's generally, it's almost kind of on the edge of Lakeview on the way to Metairie Road. You can describe it as behind the Costco. A relatively peaceful residential neighborhood.
Yeah, not really Lakeview, but uptown. It's closer to Holly Grove, uptown,
right.
and other areas like that. Now, just a few moments
I
ago,
told y'all, I showed y'all the video. Y'all think I be playing.
Who was working at the jail, who has been
I showed
accused
y'all
of
this.
helping these inmates escape. Now, that affidavit in his arrest is where we got a tremendous amount of information about how this breakout happened, and that's when we first learned that Massey and Groves may have been the two that were the ringleaders behind this.
Antoine.
That they had been working together.
What are you doing?
One of this plumber, allegedly. Plumber now tells a different story through his attorney, so all of those details are going to play out in court. I think that's when we're finally going to figure out exactly what happened. But you would assume that the U.S. Marshal's Office, the NOPD, every law enforcement agency, Louisiana State Police, which Troop NOLA has been.
All right, y'all. We want to see something else. I want to hear all that. Let's hear what she gonna say.
As it has mostly cleared out from what we can see here from the
Y'all remember that video that I made and I got it playing right now? That's where he was. I be trying to research this stuff for y'all. I be telling y'all the truth. Pay attention. Roll with me.
100 block of Strolitz Street. We're told Antoine Massey's around 6 weeks on the run have come to a close now. And we actually checked the distance from Orleans Justice Center, and we're only about 1.5 miles away. So after over a month on the run, he was located here on Strolitz Street in the Holly Grove neighborhood. We're told multiple law enforcement agencies were involved in this arrest. We're also told that he did not put up any kind of fight. Now, NOPD is going to have the latest information on
He had no
this arrest
choice.
and on the inmates on the run tonight at 5:30. And of course, WBUL is going to have our Lily Cummings there, so we'll learn more about how the arrest went down here on Strolitz Street in Holly Grove. Now, that of course just leaves Derek Groves left on the run. This makes 9 of the 10 inmates that is
You next, Derek.
Center back in May captured. So now 6 weeks after big development, I believe this is actually 6 weeks to the day or very close to it. And again, found just about 1.5 miles away from the Justice Center. So we're looking forward to learning more details about this arrest. But again, for what we know now,
I believe he wanted to go back to jail, y'all. I really do. I believe he really wanted to go back to jail.
Here on the 9400 block of Strolitz Street. Like I said,
Who
law
gets-
enforcement appear to have cleared out of this
Who
area.
gets on social media and tell the police where they located?
There were multiple law enforcement
Duh.
involved. I'm sure when this arrest
Not a
happened,
smart
it was
one.
a heavily patrolled area. So as we get those updates, we will keep you updated. And again, this is around 6 weeks since that escape. So we're looking forward to hearing what the NOPD has to say tonight at 5:30.
Amelia, can you pan around and show us what the neighborhood looks like in that area? I'm just curious if it's just a regular residential neighborhood or, was he sitting in the middle of a bunch of houses of people who just had no idea that he was in there? I think a lot of people at home might have those same questions. So what does the neighborhood look like where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me step out of the frame really quickly so you guys can kind of get a better look. There are other news cruises here as well. Everyone's interested to see what
Them
happened.
folks didn't want you in their neighborhood, Antoine.
A lot of just residential.
Them people didn't want you in their area, boy. Don't you know them people work and retired?
It looks like a really peaceful street. We've seen a few families come in and out.
That's an
of
old
the
neighborhood. That's an old
So
people
it is
neighborhood.
Not exactly the kind of place you would expect someone to hide. It looks very peaceful, very,
Wow, he was in that house.
area.
So he must have been in a
Like I said,
vacant
very few
house.
People come in and out, not heavily trafficked. Again, is
Oh, look like a vacant house.
9400 block, Holly Grove. Again, very residential area, and it appears to be peaceful right now, Katie.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's a high fence. If that is the correct address, I'm assuming that you're standing in front of. There's a high fence there. Looks like the yard.
Look like a
is
vacant
outside.
house,
So it
y'all.
raises all these questions about whether or not he was in an abandoned house, whether or not
Right.
someone who owned the house knew that he was staying in there. I'm sure those questions are all being asked by law enforcement tonight. But it's very interesting that it's already cleared out. They must have swooped in and cleared out, Amelia.
That's exactly what we thought whenever we pulled up. We were expecting to see a lot of cars, and it was clear. But again, we know there were multiple law enforcement agencies, and they've had their eyes on this guy for a long time.
Okay, y'all. The house behind the lady is a house where they found Massey. Tonight I give y'all more information. Yeah, he was in that house right there. I mean, Massey, Twan, what you doing? They got your ass, Twan. You weren't even out there that long. You weren't out there that long. It's hot out there, man. Y'all got accommodation. Y'all got accommodation where some of us don't have accommodation. Hey, baby. Hey, Corey. They caught y'all boy.
Looks like people live here. So there have been a number.
And he had on all them hot clothes.
So it'll be interesting to see, if he was here alone, if he was
Al Kardashian.
Questions we don't know the answers to now, but hopefully we have more from NOPD tonight at 5:30.
All right, thanks so much, Amelia. You know, and a lot of those neighbors are going to have a lot of questions themselves about what was happening at that house next door. So thank you so much for that. And we are just getting into the WWL Louisiana newsroom.
Antoine.
That we have
Antoine.
After he was captured, you can see.
What are you doing, Antoine?
It appears that heavily.
You got a whole Marine Marshal. Look at that. And you got on all that hot shit. Boy, it's 100 degrees out here.
Walked by those heavily armed law enforcement.
Oh, Twan. What are you doing?
From where I'm standing, but you know, this is a picture that we got just into the WWL.
They got your ass, boy. You can't run. You can run. There, you next. We know where you are.
Law enforcement.
You laying over your cousin's house.
Mentioned there, 5 of them, 5 different law enforcement agencies, all apparently working together to bring this.
You got your fame, okay? You got your money fame.
A number of other charges in addition to the ones that he was already in Orleans Justice Center for awaiting trial, Mike.
Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, honey. Ooh, Lord, let me see what they doing right here. What y'all doing right here? Antoine was got to be in a vacant house.
Your thoughts? You know, this is an inmate, inmate that has been on the run for quite some time. If you can.
A neighbor told on him.
Yes, ma'am. Your thoughts on Antoine Massey being here on your property?
I don't know what's going on, sir. I don't know. I really don't.
Gotcha.
I don't.
Shocked?
I'm very shocked. Yes. I don't want to be on the news. Like, I don't know what's going on. Where's the police? I don't even know what's happening. I get a call and I'm just coming and everything's over. Like, I really don't know. All I know is they found the guy here.
Look, y'all. Look. Y'all hear that woman?
Were the police here when you got here?
Hold on. Look, y'all. This is a neighbor. She don't find out. She don't want to be on camera. They don't find out that Antoine was in their neighborhood, probably in an abandoned house where they was painting. It was that hot stuff on. Lord have mercy. You next, Derek. I can't wait to get you.
This guy here right now. I don't see no one here but you all.
It was cleared
So
out.
I don't know. I mean, I can open the gate. I just don't want to be on camera. That's all.
Yeah. So police told you it was at this address.
Yes.
That's a black lady voice.
Did you know anything about the tenant?
There's no tenant here. It's just a family house. Like I say, I don't normally do Airbnb, but I'll keep it open. I just keep it open all
Okay,
the
so
time.
was it a family that he was here with?
I don't know anything, man. I really don't.
What? Hold up, y'all. She said, look, that's a black lady. Look at her. I see you through there, good. I see you peeping through there. Did y'all know that she said that's an Airbnb house? And she keep it vacant until somebody get it? How did he know that? How did Twan know about that house? Girl, you know you all in on the money. You in on the money. Yeah.
Two units and you own it?
Yes, okay.
Well, I do appreciate
She own that house.
I'm still trying to find out what's happening.
You know what happened. You've been watching the news.
Thank you. You said you don't worry, all right?
There she go right there. That the lady. Wait a minute. Hold up. That's her. That's the lady who was talking, y'all. Yes, he was in a kickback place. And look at her. Did she just tell them people she didn't want to be on the news? Did she just tell them people? That was wrong, man. That girl on the news, Lord have mercy, Jesus. She don't show the face.
I understand. Would you mind saying a few words with us if we don't put your face on the camera? If
That's
we point you
Amelia
towards the ground?
Strahan. She is out at the scene where this inmate.
What? You late, girl. Yeah, he was in a little kickback place.
From time to time, said she really.
But how he know that place was a kickback, though? How he know that? Let me put it on. I'm skipping it, y'all. Oh, here go the same lady who said she didn't want to be on the camera.
We're gonna go back out to Amelia again. Apparently, she's got some more information for us. So, Amelia, what you got for us?
and explain the situation because this is two properties.
Hey guys, we're
We already
talking
seen her
to
face.
the woman who owns let's turn the camera this way. We're actually talking to the woman that owns the Airbnb where Antoine Massey was allegedly found. She doesn't want her face on camera. We want to respect her request. So I'm going to get Robin to put the camera back down, and we're going to ask her a few questions. You guys can listen in.
That was the dumbest thing to do.
And it's a shock to hear this happen not only
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. This lady in with this mess. He was in her house. Y'all can call the Airbnb is just a house to me. A house being rented out. She said she didn't want her face to be seen, shown, but then she come off from behind the fence to show her face. It is her house where he was hidden at. You hid that man. You know that man. Y'all want that money. That's what it is.
On your property, but in your neighborhood, because a lot of people we spoke to say they were just talking to someone just cutting grass here earlier today, and then this happened.
Yeah, it's a pretty quiet neighborhood. You know, it's kind of shocking, you know, but hey, you know, things like this happen. You just have to, you know, kind of.
She in it.
I guess, you know.
Have you seen any signs of this? Anything suspicious?
Any signs? No.
And it's only one tenant you were telling us that lives here.
Yes, only one tenant.
And you said
She
something
knew.
when you were closing the gate that Antoine Massey might have run in, broken in. Is
Because
that,
I'm frustrated too. I don't know what's happening. They say this is going on, and I get here and I don't even see a cop. So, you know, so I don't know.
So
And what do you know about the family? Do you know anything about the family, the tenant that was staying there?
No, I don't know.
Who actually called you and alerted you of what was going on at your property?
My friend called me. A friend of mine. I guess it's all over the news and they know.
Oh, a friend of hers called. Wow, called her and told her what happened. Man, these folk want that money. I want some of it too. Shoot.
Did she see the whole arrest happen, or just the law enforcement presence?
It's the law enforcement. Yeah.
in your message to NLP that you weren't even really notified?
I don't have a message anymore.
That lady ain't scared. That lady a gangster.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. All right, now I'll pull the camera back up, guys. Yeah, so like we mentioned, this was a quiet street. Now we just heard from the woman who owns the Airbnb. Robin, I'm going to get us to turn around really quickly. You can see there's a really high gate here. She says that she knew nothing about this until her neighbor called. She says it is 2 units in this the property, but there was only one family staying there. Now she said she doesn't know what happened.
Wait a minute. Person, Antoine, what are you doing? That lady said that the owner of the house said there are 2 units there, and he was living in one of them, and the other family was living in the other. Right. So they reported him, and that was a good thing to do. Get it out of your neighborhood. Get it out your neighborhood. You don't nobody want no drama around them. I mean, he don't got his hair braid. He don't got his gel down. Your neck around. Them jokers ain't playing, boy. They ain't playing. Look, they ain't playing. I bet they just that he came out the house. He ain't have nothing to do but surrender himself. Lord have mercy.
She doesn't know if, potentially he broke in. She doesn't know if there's any association with the family. She said she is really in the dark right now. She wasn't on the property when this happened, and she pulled up and there were unmarked vehicles in the driveway. Like we've said, 6 weeks on the run, 1.5 miles from the Justice Center. This is where he was arrested.
That man out on TikTok. A man on TikTok told y'all while y'all thought he was playing that Antoine Massey was right not too far from the jail. It's a guy top. I think I recorded for y'all. I be giving y'all information. I be bringing the information to y'all. Please spread it. That man said that Twan wasn't too far from that jail. That he wasn't lying to y'all. Why is he still in New Orleans? Why? Lord have mercy. That man told y'all what Antoine was. He said it.
Is the 9400 block of Strolich Street in the Holly Grove neighborhood. Again, we were talking to the woman that owns the Airbnb where he was allegedly quiet neighborhood, and several times
And you
shocked
quiet
to
neighborhood.
hear that this happened. She said, I never expected it would happen on my property. So she didn't want to show her face on camera. Understandably, this is a high stress situation for her. It really caught her off guard.
Somebody told Antoine about that property. He ain't just walk over there and just peeked in the window and said, there's an empty property. Somebody, whoever called the lady and told that lady that Twan was over there in her house, they knew Twan was in that house. I'm glad they got you, Twan, because I didn't want them to hurt you, man. I'm glad they caught you, Twan. Antoine, what are you doing? I'm glad they caught you because I didn't want them to I didn't want nothing to happen to you. I didn't want you to, you know, I don't want to say the word because they got a whole lot on, man. They were ready for you. They were ready for you. Uh-huh. They want you. I'm glad they got you. I'm glad you cooperated and turned yourself in because, baby, because you didn't. They had already came prepared, man. You better look at that gear that man got on, boy. Come on.
She wasn't able to share much about the was staying in the Airbnb. She did say it's
And why she got that big tall fence in front of her yard? Got a tall fence in front of her yard. Good cootie doodie.
unit property. Only one of them was occupied, and we're waiting to hear more details from police. Now, I want to give you guys a look at the neighborhood because, like she mentioned, it looks pretty quiet. I'm gonna
quiet neighborhood. You bringing all that?
There aren't a lot of people outside. There are some, it looks like, homes over here.
Older people neighborhood.
We've seen a few families
who appreciate stuff.
So definitely a quiet area. The Airbnb, you can see it has this pretty.
And you bringing that crime in their neighborhood. Hey, look at the fence. Hold up. Why is that tall fence out there like that? Why she put that tall fence over in there? You can tell it's two people stay there because they got. It's a complex, a duplex. I say a complex. 9412 and 9414. He had to know. Somebody told him about that place. I ain't stupid.
Woman who owns the Airbnb again said she was completely shocked whenever she found out that he was located here. Of course, she's been watching this on the news, so it was kind of one of those I never expected it to happen to me kind of moments. Again, we are told he did not put up a fight. When we got here, there was no law enforcement presence. There were no cop cars, no investigators. So because we're told that he did not put up any kind of fight, we're wondering if it was, maybe a swift arrest. The owner of the property said that she was not notified by police. She was notified by a neighbor. So a lot of questions here. But again, she used the word shocked several times, was very cooperative. So it'll be interesting to hear what we hear from NOPD tonight at 5:30. I believe our Lily.
So what I can't understand, and I'm going to let y'all go. I can't understand. Let me see if they got anything else, y'all. What I can't understand is she said she didn't want her face on the news. She did. She said she didn't want her face on the news. Then she turned around and put her face on the news. Of course she gonna say she don't know what happened. Of course she gonna say she didn't know what was going on with Antoine. Of course. The neighbor. Y'all know.
In a house in Holly Grove. It's an Airbnb. Half of that duplex was rented, and the property owner who just showed up at the idea of that duplex. There's a large privacy fence that was taken back into custody.
With this. Now you with Antoine. Y'all know I ain't finished with Antoine. But look, y'all about to take it back to the lady who owned the Airbnb. She ain't no, that ain't no Airbnb. That's a duplex. Let me take it back to her. Where is she? Where she go? Let me find her again. She said she didn't want her face on him. Then she gonna turn around and put her face on that. Y'all people think y'all. Now look, y'all. One is the dumbest thing to do. Here the lady is talking behind the fence, y'all. Y'all people, y'all can easily get caught doing something. It's just look. She behind the fence with the reporters saying she didn't want her face shown. This is the lady who owned the house that the duplex that Ronnie was staying in. It was a family on one side and the other side is supposed to be vacant. Now, she said she didn't want her face shown. Look, y'all, I'm about to show you something. She hides behind the fence. I knew it was a black woman because I knew y'all voices. Then she stayed behind the fence. She stayed behind the fence. I don't want my face shown. I don't know what's going on. But then you do the dumbest thing. You do this. You playing game, woman. You playing games. But you can't play it with me. I know what you did. You said you didn't want your face shown. Gonna make it look like they showed your face. No, you came out behind that fence. Look, y'all, this what she did. She came out from behind the fence like that. Look. That's what she did. How you gonna say you don't want your face shown? You was in there, you know about Antoine. You know about Antoine. Look what she did, y'all. Look how the news lady looked at her. Watch how she look at her. Like I thought you didn't say, look, why is you hiding behind the fence if you don't want your face shown? I'm gonna play it on through right there.
Here with? I don't know anything, ma'am. I really don't. I don't know anything.
Yeah. How many units is this? Two? Two units and you own it?
Yes, okay.
Well, I do appreciate your time, ma'am.
No problem. I'm still trying to find out what's happening.
Thank you so much.
Much information for us.
Thank you. You said
Look, y'all, and then she come out behind the fence. That was the smartest game I ever seen somebody play. You was in that house. You know about that house. You know about that house. Y'all old women like them little cute young men like that. Yes, you did. You know about that house. Cause why the hell you come out from around the fence and you say you ain't want your face shown on the news, and we see your whole body, and then you come out and you still looking at the camera. And what's that on your shirt? Do that say, what is that? I don't know what that means. Word. It's not justice, is it? I hope it's not.
don't.
What? Justice? No. She got justice on her shirt. What? Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Oh, God, we're hoping that the shirt didn't say justice. Lord, I tell you what, Jesus. I don't do nothing but sit back and laugh about these crimes, because these crimes. This lady said with justice on her shirt. She about to get that $50,000. She went. It's a coincidence that they called him and she got justice on her shirt. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. She got justice. She got justice on her shirt. Boy, help me, Jesus. Oh no, help me, Jesus. I'm over here with tears in my eyes. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Please pray for our folks. She got justice. Oh, help me, Jesus. Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus.
I understand.
That's Antoine, girlfriend. That's that Antoine Cuckoo mama. That That's Antoine Cougar Mama, y'all. She go, help me, Jesus. I, I can't do this. I can't do this. What world? What is the people in the world coming to? Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. I can't. I can't. I can't with this. She said, she got a shirt on said justice. The shirt said justice, y'all. Whew. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Y'all, I gotta let y'all go. I can't do this. I can't do this. You gonna tell people that you, let me bag this up again. Y'all, I gotta bag it up one more time. Let me bag it up one more time. What's the name of that show? Well, the neighbors hide behind the fence and they be talking behind the fence. I don't forget the name of that cartoon. The man and his neighbor be talking behind the fence. She all through the fence right here. Listening to her voice, I already knew who she was, what she her ethic was. I knew she was a black woman. I don't want my face shown. I don't want to be on the camera. Then you bring your butt out from behind the fence front of the camera, and then you show your face. And then you got justice on your shirt. And you tell me that you ain't part of that $50,000.
I don't want to be on the news. Like, I don't know what's going on. Where's the police? I don't even know what's happening. I get a call and I'm just coming and everything's over. Like, I really don't know. All I know is they found the guy here and
You the cougar mama.
here when you got here. I just got here right now. I don't see no one here but you all. It was cleared out.
You a cougar mama.
I just don't want to be on camera. That's all.
So police told you it wasn't this drug.
Look, y'all, she said she don't be on camera.
And do you know anything about the tenant?
There's no tenant here. It's just a family house. Like I say, I would normally do Airbnb, but I'll keep it open. You know, I just keep it open all the
Okay, so
time because we have
was
a
it
gate.
a family that he was here with?
I don't know anything, man. I really don't. I don't know anything.
Yeah. How many units is this? Two? Two units and you own it?
Yes, okay.
Well, I do appreciate your time, ma'am.
No problem. I'm still trying to find out what's happening.
And then she come out from around the fence.
Thank you.
Look. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't gonna tell you. This shit come out from around the fence with justice on her shirt. I'm gone. I'm gone, y'all. I ain't fooling with y'all no more. I ain't fooling with y'all. Look, y'all. If this ain't funny, this is funny. Ain't that some mess? I'm gone, y'all. Y'all, please like and share this video. Please like and share this video, y'all. This is crazy. This lady wearing a justice shirt. Didn't know Antoine was living in the house. And she owned the Airbnb. And it's a $50,000 rewards out there. And y'all tell me she ain't on Cougar Mama. I'm gone. I'm gone.